Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Spring has sprung on the prairies, for the time being anyway. I'm sure there's still going to be another snow, but let's get with today's video. Welcome back, everyone. Well, things are a little different today. We're missing a car. So here she is in all her glory. The 64 is finally back outside. I forgot how much that red pops in the sun. Looking just awesome. But I've been waiting for this day all winter. The yard's finally semi-dry, at least it's not soft anyway. It's supposed to be 15 degrees today and 17 tomorrow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my big grind in. Now, what I'm calling the big grind is I got to get him with the wire wheel all in around where the window sits, down the bottom as well too. I got to clean out all this rust. I'll scrape out as much as there's little bits of urethane, which it didn't need it at the time, but over the years somebody has put it in and probably stopped leaking. But I got to wire wheel this all out. I got to wire wheel all the bottom lips here of where the weather strip clips on here. It's not rusted through, it's still solid, but it's extremely flaky. And then of course, get in around here on the door sills and stuff. There's a drain spot here, which drains this post down, which comes from the top. I want to clean that all up. There should be a gap that's open here. There is some, but there's chunks of rust in there. And then continue on and get all the rust I can. Any flaky rust that's visible and a little bit underneath on the edges. I'm going to get it all out, all around my trunk lid. Everything I can do over the next couple days to keep all that dust and dirt outside. Now I have been doing a little work on this fender here. Mainly just taking off all the old layers of paint and rust and the old fiberglass. I've got this spot down to bare metal. I've worked it with a hammer, and I just put a quick coat of fiberglass or Bondo on here because I want to sand it down. I want to see what it looks like. It was extremely messed up. This whole piece you see here that's rusty, this is all wrinkled. There was definitely a good collision on the front here at one time. So I did what I could to straighten it up using a hammer on the inside and one on the outside and a piece of steel for a dolly. And this is just to see what it's going to look like. There's a lot more work to do. I still got to take this fender down a lot more, but it was just something to start with. But I ended up getting all my chrome stripped, all my loose pieces stripped off there. Hinges are back off. Of course, the trunk lid is gone, and it is time to start grinding and cleaning. But man, does that ever open up the shop. Literally doubled my space just getting rid of that car. And you can clearly see how far under my vacuum can reach, and I've been too lazy just to go down the other side, other than a broom once in a while to sweep it out. But this will give me a good chance to get this all cleaned out of here, suck up all that dust, and yeah, she's coming. The 64 is slowly coming along. Man, it is definitely a nice day. It is hot out. Having a little refreshment here. Been going on this about an hour and a half now. And it is turning out awesome. There is next to no rust. There's all just a little bit of surface rust, all within that weather strip seal where the window goes in. You can see up this side as well too. No flakes, no big pitting. And even where it goes in along the roof line is darn near perfect. Now, everything that you see so far is just done with the big angle grinder down there, the Makita. I still have to get out here with my die grinder when I'm done. Just with a smaller bit, a little pin, like a fingertip bit, just to get in here, get in all around. I want to get in behind these little brackets here. The dash itself, like, even though I'm cleaning all this, I want to stop the rust, but you don't see any of this. The dash actually comes in right up to here. This is where it bolts through. There's one screw that goes in from the top down on a big angle, and it actually rides right on top of this, and this fits into the groove. So really all there is about a 1/4 inch gap, which is again is covered up by the big seal that goes away all the way around the roof as well too, so you'll never see that. Now my wheel was getting real short real quick, so I didn't do too much down here, but I did go quickly along the side here. You can kind of, so you can see my reflection in the steel. It's down to shiny metal. There's a little bit of pitting, not a big deal. This will get a piece of weather strip over so you won't see it. And on here, where there is some pitting, instead of doing all the body work on here, what I think I'm going to do is, because this is where you're stepping in and out of the vehicle anyway, there's a small plate that goes on here that says, I think it said Chrysler 300 or something on it. The one little steel plate that goes here. What I think I'm going to do is this entire piece, so from this lip right around, I'm going to put the rocker guard underneath here down both sides, just where that trim goes, just underneath of it, and also where you walk into it on here. Just will make it a little rougher. You don't have to worry about scuffing up as much, and I'll run that right through to the back. But just going to finish my beverage here. Have a sit down and stretch out my back. Being hunched over the whole time kind of sucks. Guy's getting a little bit old, I think. But we'll keep going on. Check back in a few minutes. And we got the 64 tucked back inside. That was about 4.5, 5 hours of wire wheeling. Everything all in here done. All up in all the window sills. I got, this was a bugger of a time. Down inside here there's like a sealant. Got all my posts done. Anywhere there was flaky rust or any rust at all, I went across it. This will all be treated, of course, before it gets even primed. Did my whole back deck pan here. Still got to do some more work on this. And I got to do a little more work in here. My wheel wore down and it's not long enough to reach the bottom here anymore. But getting up in here, getting all the crap out of here. No rust. It's looking really good. Really good. And then kind of coming back in here to the trunk where that old seal was. I peeled it off. Not a speck of rust in there. I don't know. Some things in this car are rusted out, and other things I got so lucky. It's unbelievable. But I managed to get everything cleaned out. All the grooves, all these seam lines. I get everything done. But I'm gonna call it a night. It's not the end of the video. It's still gonna be another day of grinding and sanding and cleaning. But for me, I'm going to grab myself a beer, sit down with the wife on the deck, and before you know it, I'm going to be back out here grinding again. Going to be a day for me, only a few seconds for you. And just like that, the weekend has flown by. Second day of grinding is complete, and basically, my first go over the entire vehicle is now done. I've wired wheeled everything loose I could find. All my brackets, anything loose sticking out that had rust on it, I've gone through. We're down to bare steel all the way through now. Went through and sanded this out. It's turned out really good. But everything is done. The only thing I haven't done is some small areas like this here, where mostly this will be done by hand sanding. It won't be my electric sander. But I have gone over the entire car. And she's got one scuff of 60 grit over the entire thing. But the most important part is, I don't know how much it's going to show, but we are perfectly clean inside. We've got the whole roof ground down, all the pillars, all cleaned out above the brackets, up under the dash is all done. Man, this thing was a lot of work. It's a lot of grinding. And I finally got all my edging in done on both sides. And I got my new wire wheel. Geez, there's so many curves in this car. You know what? Today's sanding would be a dream on new vehicles compared to all the lines and the angles on these things. But to me, that's the appeal. That's why I like these old boats. I just love the shape of all the metal on them. But now I have a disorganized mess here that I got to put back together. Got to move things out of the way, get my walkway back to the old fire pit here, free again. Probably, I don't know if I'll put the car back up on stands tonight or not. The week's supposed to look okay, a few days, so she might go back outside. But everything I have to do now is a lot of body work. Now it's grab that fender and just work that whole fender till it's done, prime it, get it okay, jump to the next one, front valance, and work my way through. But anyway, that's it for the video. Thanks for stopping by. Love you all. Subscribers are greatly welcomed. And I hope you guys have a great week. Catch you again later.